It is that time. Haunt review time. What are we talking about today? Where are we going today? Blood Prison. Now, we got the opportunity to go visit Blood Prison at the Ohio Halloween and Haunters Convention. If you have been following us for any time at all, you have heard all about the Ohio Halloween and Haunters Convention and what an amazing time it was. And our tour of Blood Prison and their haunt and the time that we got to spend talking with Vic, the overseer of Blood Prison. Fantastic place, fantastic operation. Now, regretfully, it was a condensed haunt, pretty hardcore for them. There was a lot of the haunt they weren't able to do. They're still doing tours of the actual prison complex itself. We're going to get into that here in just a second, as well as there was the convention in town and everything else, so they were only able to do a portion of what their haunted house normally is, and that's what we're going to talk about today. What we actually saw and what we are hoping to see come the 2019 haunt season. So we're going to jump right into it. No announcements, no nonsense like that. We're here to talk about Blood Prison and Blood Prison alone. Now, where is this bad boy located? It is located at 100 Reformatory Road in Mansfield, Ohio, 44905. It is a big ass mother flipping. See, you thought I was going to cuss, and I'm getting better with it. Not doing that so much anymore because trying to be a good boy. So, Mansfield, Ohio, it is a big prison. It is actually where the Shawshank Redemption was shot, which is one of my favorite movies. I remember growing up watching that movie with my dad several times, so it was really cool. Number one, just to get to see where a big chunk of the movie was shot. And then as well, it was formerly a massive, functioning, full to go prison. Murderers, rapists, all types of evil people have been here, died here. Man, if you listen to what they have to tell you, some of them haven't left quite yet. Probably don't have any plans of leaving, period. But you talk about a prison, you talk about a place called Blood Prison. One of the things about it that's really interesting is it's one of the most beautiful buildings on the outside I think I have ever seen. When you get on the inside and you see the inside, yep, this was a prison for sure. But the outside, it's amazing how gorgeous it is. Very pretty outside building. It doesn't take away from the haunt or make it feel any less daunting or intimidating or anything like that. The building does its job. It's just incredible how beautiful the building is on the outside. We were both floored by it. And it is the location of the Ohio Halloween and Haunters Convention as well. Now, moving on to it a little bit, they have announced the dates for 2019, and we're going to share those with you. They will be kicking off September 27th and going all the way to November 3rd. So very excited to see what they got going on. One thing about Blood Prison that I thought was really cool, I just found out about this just a few days ago. They do a VIP private party experience. So you can an open bar with it up to a certain extent. You get unlimited passes into the haunt, as many as you want. It seems to be just a huge party that you can have at a haunted house, and that is cool as shit. And when we find out some more details on that, definitely be releasing them to you. They do have some more information on it on their website, which is, it's going to be hard to remember, okay? So you may need to write this down. It's www.bloodprison.com, okay? There's some more information on their website about the VIP package and what all it is, and we're going to try and get some more information on it as well because it sounds really cool. It actually sounds like probably not this year, but something we might consider doing in the future. That sounds pretty cool, and I haven't heard of any other haunt doing that. So I'm sure there's other haunts that do. I just haven't been to one or seen one yet. So that's really cool, and we need to find out some more information on that. Now, tickets for 2019. Number one, the first thing I want to do before we go any further is applaud Blood Prison because they are offering Touch Pass. And for those of you that follow us, you know we happen to be big fans of Touch, at any haunt that we go to. And any haunt that ever offers a Touch Pass experience, we're always going to buy it up every single time. So kudos to you. And they don't charge an outrageous amount for it. It's only $5 on top of the cost of the original ticket, unless you buy the Lightning ticket, which we'll talk about here in just a second, and Touch Pass is included with it. The prices for this place are extremely reasonable. Start off with general admission. Now there are 2 ticket price tiers. I'm sure it depends on the day. I didn't check to see what day it was, but for general admission, you'll either pay $20 or $30, depending on the day. Again, and then if you want the Touch Pass experience, it's $5 extra. That's very, very reasonable. The speed ticket, Fast Pass, it's $30 and then $40 on other particular nights. Again, $5 extra for the Touch Pass. And then the Lightning Pass, which I'm assuming is basically a front of the line pass, is $40 on select nights, $50 on other nights, and the Touch Pass is included. But if you get the Lightning Pass and you don't want the Touch experience, which doesn't make any sense to me, I'm telling you, just get it. Just go with it. You're going to like it. But if you absolutely don't want that, you can't elect out of it. So you don't have to go with the Touch experience just because you get the Lightning Pass. So there's all types of options to fit everybody's budget, everybody's style. Again, A+ on the prices. I think for what you guys are offering, that is a very, very fair price. 13 years or older only, so no one under the age of 13 is allowed in the haunt. We usually talk a lot about line interaction, and regretfully, we're not going to be able to talk about line interaction at all. No fault of Blood Prisons, just there was no line. The haunt ran all day, and we should have tried to sneak through it twice. I bet they would have let us. Yeah, but anyways, hindsight's 2020. So there was no interaction to be had. So it was great as far as the wait time. It couldn't have been better, but there's nothing to really talk about because there was no line. I'm sure there will be when we go back. And as you all know, we usually try to sneak into these things sometimes at the crux periods a little bit just to see how they are flowing with the line. And we'll see. We'll see when we sneak up on these guys this year. We will definitely be coming back for the 2019 season. We will definitely be getting Touch Passes. We will definitely be getting Speed Pass. We're a fan of Fast Pass. We're a fan of Touch Pass. And you know that's the way we're going to go every time if we can. But we'll be up there and we'll be able to talk about the line interaction. I look at this more of a appetizer for what's to come in the future. We're going to talk about the experience that we had, but we're really, really looking forward to seeing them in 2019 and seeing what they have in store. So again, reduced tour. Can't wait to see it on full tilt. We are going to talk about a couple moments that we had inside, some memorable moments. One of the coolest things that I've seen in a walkthrough haunt, and big kudos to Blood Prison for doing this, and the actor that did it, dressed like a pig, I believe. He put Trish on a gurney in what was, kind of a no-touch pass. And Trish was obviously, it was her idea. Well, it was actually Nick and I's idea. And then he went along with it, and she went along with it, and it just all worked out. But anyways, put her on a gurney. Let us take photos of him and her on the gurney right in the middle of the haunt. It's unheard of. There is not a single, almost every haunt we've been to, there's no cameras, period. And that's really cool for them to allow that to happen. I hope I didn't just get that actor in trouble. But I don't think so. And if I did, have mercy on him because it was a really cool experience. For her to be able to do that, it was one of her most memorable moments from the haunt itself. Now, one of my most memorable moments and one of Nick's most memorable moments, whether he would like to necessarily admit it or not, is the tall screaming lady. There was a very tall, very loud lady that popped out from behind us very slowly and had an earth-shattering scream. It was absolutely insane. It was terrifying. It definitely got Nick. It got me a little bit, but it definitely got Nick. But to Nick's credit, it was the only time that I saw him get scared at any point. So he handled all of this pretty much like a trooper. He did get scared that one time with the screaming lady. And the final scene, and the actor in the final scene absolutely killed it. They did a wonderful job. Two of them, the one at the end, not only gave you a little bit of a horror aspect, he sent you out of the haunt on a laugh, and it was just a perfect way of ending it. We were talking about the light coming in, and he starts screaming about how we're ruining all of his food, and we got to shut the door now and get out. So and just how he presented it, it was just beautifully done. So if you're watching this and you know who you are, big thumbs up to you.
Let us know who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. We always like to know who it is. And the wonderful pig that put Trish on a gurney. If you know who you are, tag yourself. Let us know who you are. We always like to give shout outs to those that excel at their jobs and those that excel at bringing the best possible hunt and the best possible experience to people like us. Now, that leaves us with one more matter of business to attend to. And it's kind of the biggest matter of business to attend to. It's the ratings, right? What did this place score? Now, we are reviewing what we saw. Okay? Love Vic, love Blood Prison, and very, very excited about the 2019 season. They had limited resources, limited time, limited space, limited actors, on top of trying to help run a convention, and they still put together these scores, which is impressive in and of itself, and it makes me so excited to see what they have full tilt, because to pull off just this and the convention and everything else that's going on, and people are still taking tours, and you're doing interviews with us, awesome job, guys. Awesome job. Environment, what'd they get? 6 out of 10. Now, we went with 6 out of 10 because we felt the areas that we were in, some of them had a little bit of monotone, kind of the same light, same feel, a little longer than maybe what it felt like it should be. You could tell that they were missing parts, that there was stuff that you would usually see that would break that up a little bit that wasn't there. So it took away from the environment a little bit, but the prison itself is amazing. And just the location and just where they are and what they did do with it and the scenes and the setup, and they had some really cool rooms and some really cool moments. It just seemed a little monotone with some of the lighting at times and a little bland in some of the hallway areas. It was still really, really good. We nitpick a little bit because we like to try to be as honest as we can with these. I just can't wait to see what the full thing's going to be. I want to see it full tilt and see a little more. But 6 out of 10 for the environment. Actors, solid score, 7 out of 10. Would like to see some more. Again, it's the middle of the May. You know, it's hard to get everybody together. It's hard to get all of your core people back to do just this small event. And it's difficult to pull off. It's difficult for any hunt to pull that off and make it work. Every single off-season hunt has lacked in actors a little bit compared to what you see during the Halloween season, and it makes complete sense. It's not a knock, it just is what it is. Now, the actors that were inside, I'd say 85% of them absolutely killed it. They were on point, they knew what their roles were, they were interactive, they were fun, yet scary. They did their jobs very, very well and loved what they did. Regretfully, there was a few that were just kind of going through the motions. Didn't seem to be as into it as they should have been. Kind of seemed, I don't know, the crowds aren't rolling through. It's not the big lines that you're used to during the Halloween season. I don't know if that contributed to it at all or not, but they just didn't seem to be as into it, just a few of them. And it did hurt the score a little bit because they are still in there. Luckily, the actors that were busting their ass, they killed it. They did a very, very good job. And I applaud, like I said, 85% of everybody that was in there. Excellent, excellent, excellent job. So 7 out of 10 on actors. Scare factor came away with a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10 because it was a little more fun than it was scary. But they did have some scare moments. You walk right into it. They have this big blast of a horn right off bat. And I'm not going to lie, it made me jump back a good bit. The big lady scared the crap out of Nick. She got me pretty good. There was several moments of good scare. Just a little more fun than it was scary. A little more humorous at times than it was scary. It was done well, and it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't too much of it at all. It wasn't like it was, ridiculous funny or anything like that. It was just, it had some different elements to it, and scare wasn't as much. I think the haunt season's going to be completely different. I think this one's probably going to have, especially with touch impact, probably a pretty high scare rating. If you're thinking about going to it, you might want to wait and watch review number 2 before you jump up there and make sure that it's not escalated to an 8 or a 9 on the scare rating. But anyways, overall, for this particular experience, it was a 6 out of 10. Solid performance all around. Can't wait for fall. Again, you could tell that there was 150 things going on. That limited space, limited resources, limited time, limited actors, interviews with jackasses like us, and they still pulled together a solid performance. And that's amazing in and of itself. And that's what gives me so much excitement to come see them for the 2019 season. There's a few haunts that we like to repeat. I have a feeling that this one's going to end up being one of those just because of the touch pass. Very excited to see what you all have coming up. Again, solid experience. 2 thumbs up. 2 Blood Prison. We're going to see you in 2019. Well, we've already seen you in 2019. We're going to see you again.
2019 haunt season.
2019 haunt season. We will be up there. Can't wait to see you. For now, I'm James. It's Trish. This is that weird part where I turn myself over to myself talking to Vic. Thank you all. Welcome to another interview with another amazing haunt owner / creator. We are here with Vic, head honcho of Blood Prison here in Mansfield, Ohio. Found out a couple of cool things about this place when we first pulled up. Number one, this is where Shawshank was fucking filmed.
That's right.
Very cool. Very cool. Beautiful complex. Beautiful prison. Vic, as beautiful as a prison can be, I guess. It really is a gorgeous complex. So Vic, tell us a little bit about the history of the haunt of Blood Prison, and a little bit about the building itself.
Well, Blood Prison started out really as something called the Mad Effects Lab, which we did our own. It was our own haunt, as me and Robert Kurtzman and the Creature Core team started to haunt at our shop.
I hope you all heard that name, that second name you mentioned.
Robert Kurtzman?
Yeah.
So we started our haunt, and it bled over to here. Is kind of how it worked out. So we started there. We did a few years at our haunt. We had a woods, and we had this building that we did everything in Crestline, Ohio, and we had the opportunity to come to the reformatory.
Cool.
So we obviously took that opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's and then originally it was called Paranormal Penitentiary in 2016, and then we changed the name to Blood Prison in 2017.
Very cool. All right. So how often does your haunt go through a major set change?
I'm a teardown haunt, so because this building is a museum technically.
Okay.
Now, because it's not a working prison, so they run tours all year long, so people can come in and tour the building all year, even in the winter. So we have to tear it down. So we change a lot every year. Now we move stuff around, but like as far as a complete facelift, that's probably every 5 years or so.
Okay.
But we don't keep things in the same spot. We try to keep things moving around.
I think it's unrealistic to expect you guys to change every single thing every year. That would be
250,000 square feet.
Yeah, that's
a lot to change.
Man. There's no way. So what are some of the differences and some of the maybe different challenges you find running a haunt for normal Halloween season versus doing like a special 2-day event like you are this weekend?
Well, the 2 areas that we are running this weekend, we are allowed to keep those up all year long.
Okay.
So there's 2 designated spots in the building that are ours. Okay. So running the 2-day event, that's pretty simple for the most part.
Okay.
I did bring in a new set designer this year, so we did do a pretty good facelift on the haunt, the 2 sections. So this one was a little stressful because we were trying to get everything, ready for the Ohio Halloween and Haunters Convention.
Yeah.
But generally for this kind of stuff, it takes a week or so just to turn everything back on, make sure everything's working. It's not really a big deal. As for Halloween in October, haunt season, that's, we're about 2 months it takes to get everything to build back in the cell blocks and everything set up and incorporate anything new that we might have bought at Trains World or something like that.
Okay. Let's talk about the convention for a second. Obviously, that's what we're here doing right now. The Ohio Halloween and Haunters Convention. How much has Blood Prison been involved with that since kind of, I guess, its conception, or did they just kind of pick your spot? I mean, what's Blood Prison's involvement in the Halloween Haunters Convention?
It's actually a funny story. So Jason Wilson, when Midwest left Columbus, Ohio, a Midwest Haunters Convention, it's moving to Chicago this year. So when they decided to move, the Ohio Haunters Association, which is run by Jason Wilson, decided we got to keep something, in Ohio.
Yeah, absolutely. This is one of the This state is like some almost mecca for
Yeah.
some haunted
Holiday.
houses, man.
Yeah. So, he reached out to me and a handful of other people like, Max and Nikki and everybody that's on the team and said, we're looking for ideas. We want to do a convention. We want to do it in Ohio. We just don't know where to do it. So he made this group together and, he put me in on it. And I was just like, oh, okay, so I'm sitting there and I'm reading the thread. It was so funny. I'm reading the thread. He's like, well, there's some hotels. They live in Ashland, Ohio. Well, there's some hotels here in Ashland, that's got some decent conference rooms. And I was reading through the threads and I'm going, so finally I chimed in. I just go, Jason, why don't you just ask me? And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, why don't you just do it with reformatory? And he's like, oh, I never thought of that. So it's kind of a joke. I'm like, I know you want to do it here, but he was just like, honestly, I didn't even think about that. So we set a meeting with the executive director and the associate director here, and they were like, hell yeah. I mean, why not? Nothing's been done like that here before. So we're a big attraction in Ohio.
Yeah.
So it kind of goes hand in hand. And then we reached out to the other haunts too. So like Mohican Haunted Schoolhouse, they're open tonight.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to run. They're just in Perrysville.
Yeah.
So it worked out for everybody in the area.
Very cool. Yeah, we got the privilege to talk to them yesterday.
Yeah.
We were over there for a couple hours hanging out with them for a little while. You'll see more about that later. So what is some of the biggest challenges of just running a haunted attraction of this size and magnitude? What is probably your biggest day-to-day challenge of keeping this place doing what it's doing?
Well, most haunted owners are going to relate to what I'm saying, at least the ones I talk to. The biggest challenge, honestly, is keeping enough people. You know what I mean? I have a huge building, so 50 actors, that doesn't do it. I need a lot.
Yeah.
So the biggest challenge for me is keeping actors, because once new actors come in and realize, oh, this ain't just fun and games.
Yeah, it's a job.
It's work.
Yeah.
A lot of times we lose people. First couple weekends we're banging with 80 to maybe 100 actors, but usually it whittles itself down. So that's the biggest challenge, really. I mean, I've got a great team. I'm not concerned about how it looks or the misdirection or anything. We're good on that end. The biggest challenge is definitely keeping in actors.
Very cool. Very cool. I manage a restaurant when I'm not doing this, and crazy enough, that is my biggest challenge as well, is keeping people. And they don't even come thinking it's fun and games initially. They come knowing it's working.
Right.
You want me to work? Here, work. Crazy.
Yeah.
So is your haunt a touch or a no touch?
It is a touch haunt.
Cool. I love hearing that sentence.
It is a touch. If you don't want to be touched, you don't have to be touched.
Okay.
So our touch passes are basically a glow-in-the-dark wristband or glow-in-the-dark necklace. They wear that. That cues the actors. Oh, fair game.
Fair game.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So
when you talk about touch, that obviously kind of leads down that road a little bit of getting into the immersive terror side of things.
Mm-hmm.
And while the walkthrough haunt, I think will always be king of the haunt world.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's ever going to touch it or ever overtake it. The immersive haunt and that type of immersive terror, there's no denying that it's on the rise.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something Blood Prison's ever thought about incorporating? Maybe as like a special one-night event, or maybe in the off-season doing something like that? Is that thought even around there at all?
Not really. Just because, here's the thing. When you do it here at the reformatory, people associate everything with the reformatory. So it's my event, but when there's an issue, everybody calls the reformatory. Because this is a family-oriented building now. It's a museum. So a lot of people bring their kids. Now, when the haunt's open, it's 13 and older. Okay? So, but when you're dealing with this kind, we have a board of directors, you know what I mean? So we got to clear everything through them, which they're great. They're usually pretty cool about everything. But you get, like, even today with this going on, you get people that are just, they're not into it. You know what I mean? So if someone just gets a bad idea of something, it could come back bad, and I don't want to ruin the relationship I have with the reformatory.
Absolutely.
So they let us do the touch thing. They're like, yeah, that's fine, as long as we train the actors on what to do and everything. But when you're talking like, strap somebody in a chair and shock them, and some people get crazy with it.
Yeah, no, we're aware.
We're more traditional. I mean,
Very cool.
I'm an old school horror movie fan, so I like things traditionally, like, themed and scary. I don't really need to do all the torture type stuff, but we do the touch pass, and that handles that end of it for us.
Very cool. And that's good that you offer it both ways and allow people to have the option to choose. And I respect. I think that's probably the best way of handling that versus it being one way or the other.
Right.
And that's just it. So over the years, has there been maybe a favorite theme for a particular year, or maybe even more specifically a favorite scene from the past that you look back on and you're like, man, that was it. That was the perfect room, the perfect setup. Anything like that come to mind?
You mean here?
Here, or any other haunts that you've ever been associated with?
Well, yeah, I don't know.
It's a tough question.
It is. That's a hard one because I'm like, there are so many scenes in rooms that we did when we would do them, especially when I was with Bob, and even now though, because it all comes really full circle, but it's really hard because we had like this lab in our old haunt that I just loved. The room was amazing.
Very cool.
We had an Egyptian room there, which to me, honestly, I told Bob, I was like, what are we doing this for? I mean, it's, like when he first talked about it, like an Egyptian room, what the hell are we doing that for? Well, mummies and stuff. And I'm just like, okay, I get that. But when, so I wasn't like, really that into it. But when they got, everybody together and they started building, and I went into it, I was like, sorry about that.
You're fine.
I was like, oh my God, this looks amazing. I mean, the walls looked like you were in an Egyptian tomb, or like a pyramid or whatever. And the set just popped. You know what I mean? That was just one in particular that I thought that looked amazing. We have these here and at the old one. The doll room that we did at the old haunt and the one we have here. I love the doll rooms.
James loves the doll room.
I had an experience in a doll room.
Yeah?
Yeah. I won't mention the haunt, but we walked into it and they had all these porcelain life-size dolls. I'd say like 15 or 20 of them. In a room a little bigger than the room that we're in right now. And you know that at least one or two of them is real.
Yeah.
And it was, I'm pretty good with haunted houses. I do the immersive terror. I do it all. I don't have moments. I'm hard to scare.
Yeah.
But that one caused me for a second to just stop and be like, all right, let's just walk through this.
Yeah. That's
See who's
awesome.
going to jump out and scare us.
Yeah. Yeah, so those are probably, in the house, like we do like a granny's house.
Okay.
Type of Texas chainsaw.
Very cool.
That, I just got great set designers, and they just do such a good job. And when we brought it over here, we just built one. Instead of just having it in the corner of our haunt at the old, like, let's just build a house. Cool. So we built a house, and that's actually one of the haunts running here today. So you'll see it later, but that's probably my favorite. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome, man. So obviously it's in a prison. At one point in time, it was a real functioning prison. Mm-hmm. Obviously, some not so great stuff has probably happened within these walls many times over. Right. You feel the building's haunted?
Come on.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Honestly, I'm not really into the paranormal. I'm just not into it. It's nothing that really ever captured my interest, But I'm not gonna lie and say I've never had some weird experiences here that I haven't had.
I appreciate the open-mindedness. That's cool.
It is what it is.
When it's presented in front of you, you have to be a little
I'm a see to believe it type of person. So when you see it, you're just like, oh, okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're into the paranormal and stuff, you'd probably have a good experience here.
Cool.
On our ghost hunts, we do ghost hunts and everything
Very cool. I'm with you. I'm very skeptical of the majority of it. It just seems every haunted house we go to, there's always, it's really haunted here. Nobody goes in this room over here because this is that room that. Are there any spots like that the staff kind of doesn't like to be in during the haunt or anything like that?
Solitary confinement.
Solitary confinement. All right. Is that part of the tour? I'm assuming.
After you leave the house, you'll go down the steps and you're in solitary confinement. Now we're not running solitary this weekend.
Okay.
But yeah, when you go through and you leave the house, you'll be in solitary.
Okay. Very cool. All right. Well, that's going to about wrap it up. But before we close it out, how can people get a hold of you? Where is Blood Prison located at exactly? Website, Facebook pages.
Yep.
Knock it out, man. What do you got?
We got, of course, there's bloodprison.com.
Very cool.
We're on Facebook, Instagram. We're located in Mansfield, Ohio, at 100 Reformatory Road at the Mansfield Reformatory. Shawshank Prison.
You can't miss it.
No, it's huge. It looks like Dracula's castle. Yeah, that's what we liked about it. You can find me on Facebook. You can message the Facebook or Instagram page with any questions. We open September 27th.
That's how we always get a hold of these people, guys. We just message them. That's it. So, Vic, thank you so much for your time. It is absolutely an insanely busy day, filled with some trials and tribulations for you from time to time.
Like the fire alarm.
Like the fire alarm. But we thank you so much for taking just a few minutes to sit down and talk about your hunt.
Sure.
And we're going to get out of here. We're going to go walk through this big bad mammoth jammer right now. So that's it. Thank you, folks, very much. Vic, again, thank you.
No problem. Thanks, guys.